Jennae. I'm pasting.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. All right. So I had technical difficulties tonight. All right. So you got to bear with me. I accidentally deleted the Facebook Late Night with Travis Michelle on Facebook. So I had to go and redo another broadcast. But we're here now. So guess what? Hello, good evening. How are you doing on this wonderful hump day? This is Travis Michelle, your late night host of Late Night with Travis Michelle. Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we talk about the ugly side of the backstory. What is that? That is where guests will share their challenges and then give us tips and gems how they overcame those challenges to be successful, because we all want to look at the shiny object, right? Yeah, okay. Well, I have some announcements tonight. I'm really excited about it. Please go ahead and share out the broadcast. If you have not signed in to StreamYard on Facebook, I won't be able to see your name, so please type your name in the comment section, because I like to shout people out. I like to say, hey, thank you so much. Hi, Angelique. Look, this is my coach. She's always here, always supporting me, and I appreciate that. And this way we can say who you are, and if you want to put in like where you're from, that's great. So what I do as an expert confidence coach, I equip high-achieving business women to defeat negative thoughts of self-sabotage and imposter syndrome while rebuilding and rebirthing confidence one step at a time to achieve success in your business, life, and relationships, right? In other words, I get you to where you need to go. That transformation is what it's about. It's about the transformation for me. I'm just saying, via my WALK method. W, willing participant. A, action steps. L, love yourself through forgiveness, freedom, which leads to redemption, which is walking through the journey. And then K is kicking butt unapologetically. Stop apologizing for who you are, what you've gone through, what you've done, right? You are doing so much more and you're better and you're stepping forward. Hey, that's right, because we got to level up, power up. We have to step to the next level. I'm your professional speaker as well. Yay. And international bestselling author times 2. Here's my Boss Up with Confidence journal. You can grab it over on Amazon. And it also teaches you the walk method. Okay, so we'll have some other announcements later in the evening, but let's get on and popping and cracking for tonight. All right, like I said, please make sure y'all go on and share. Let folks know what's going on here, okay? Because if you want to grow, then you got to be in the place. You have to be in more than one place. You have to be in a couple places. Y'all like my specs? Yeah, I say that all the time, but I like them. I do. So let me tell you about our guest tonight. I'm just so excited. I had so much going on. I had everything organized, and until I didn't have it organized, as they say. So stuff happens, but we're going to keep it moving anyway. So we have Miss Jennae, who is what? The travel vet. I didn't say the. I didn't just say, oh, she's a travel vet. No, the travel vet. So you guys saw her beautiful picture. Miss Jennae Pitts is a U.S. Army retired mother of 4. Does not look like it, y'all. I'm just saying. Out of Guanacaste, Costa Rica. The Army taught her how to shoot, move, and communicate. But what they didn't teach her about is wealth or legacy. And after 26 years of service, she found out that upon her death, that her 3 sons were no longer eligible as beneficiaries, and that the majority of her retirement check would go back to the U.S. Treasury Department. I didn't even know that, guys. What? So many of us have worked our job for 10 plus or more years. We have invested our time, which we cannot get back working for someone else's dreams. That time is over. It is our time and our turn to invest in ourselves and our dreams. Without further ado, I would like to bring to the stage the wonderful, the beautiful Ms. Jennae Pitts. Hello, how are you, Queen?
Hey, honey, I am absolutely fabulous, fantastic, and simply amazing. How are you?
I am doing good. Okay, you would not know I have my AC on over here, but these like photography lights are like working me. So, as I take a sip of my ice water and my, bling.
It looks so good and refreshing too.
So, one, I'd like to say thank you so much for your service. it's not every day we get to have a conversation to sit down with a veteran who's a female, right? Because it's a different world when it's female and you're a Black woman, all that. So, tell us a little bit quickly about yourself. Like, when did you go into the Army? We said 26 years ago. Why did you choose that path? And then after that, we'll discuss the next step. Go ahead.
Oh, awesome. So 17 years old. My mommy literally had to sign me over to Uncle Sam. I know that sounds weird. Most people be like, I went in and I joined and raised my right hand. No, my mama had to sign a waiver because I was underage to even join the military. But I will tell you, to be transparent, T, I got into the military because of a bet. Yes, a bet. I was that girl who was prissy and all of that other stuff. And it was like, I don't even know how the conversation came up. But last thing I knew is like, you ain't gonna tell me what I can and cannot do. Watch me, I went online. It was crazy. I went online and I was like, ooh, okay. So I wanted to be a radiology technologist. And I wanted to do ultrasound, and so I was like, the Army, when I looked it up, they had a program that was 2 years that allowed you to do that, and I was like, yep, that's for me. And so I went looking for a recruiter. The recruiter didn't come looking for me. So I went in a telephone book. Back in the day, y'all, it was a telephone book. It was not the internet. And I found one, and I called him up, was like, hey, I'm ready to join. And the rest is history. Here we are today.
Wow. Now that's an interesting story. Guys, for those who have been guests on my on Late Night with Travis Michelle, know that I do not script. So it's not like I go and prepare you and all of that. That's why I do 10 o'clock at night. I'm not a scripted type chick. I'm not. Even working my whole career as a registered nurse, I'm not that chick. I'm not. I like to just know my topic, research the guest, and then let's let it flow. So this is some juicy information because everyone thinks that that you go in and sign your hand over, or you go from you either go to jail or you go in the military. Right? People know that because we watch movies. So now you're in the military and you're enjoying it clearly because you say 26 years. But what I want to know is, how did you go about then finding your lovely husband and having children? How did that work? And you stayed in the military.
That part, it was very challenging. It wasn't easy. Actually, I was a teenage mother, believe it or not, because after I raised my right hand, I ended up getting pregnant and having my firstborn. Yep, but that was a story within itself. And I also got married at that same time. So teenage mom, teenage wife, the whole shebang. You got it, all of it. And then in the military, not even, I think, a year, Yeah, it all happened like boom, 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 life. I became an adult real quick. I always tell people between the age of 17 and 21, I didn't have that young adult life that mostly everybody was like at the going to school at that time, at college, and partying and all that other stuff. Nope, didn't get to have that. I was already a wife, I was a mom, and I was in the military, that. And so then I was also, guess what? Going to school. Yep. I was like, my dad told me when I got pregnant, he really cut me off, honestly, y'all. He was like, you're going to be barefoot and pregnant, because that was his mentality. That's, old school. And that's what he thought. But again, I had that mentality. You ain't going to tell me what I ain't going to do. So that was the second time. So I said, nope, I had to prove to him that I wasn't going to be barefoot and pregnant. And so again, that's the way the journey started out with my first marriage. Yeah, and I tell people, life happens, right? And so I'm in the military, I'm married, I have my first child, and I have my second son. And then guess what? My second son, my third son, I was pregnant when 9/11 popped off.
Wow.
Yep. When 9/11 popped off, I was pregnant, and actually just went through a divorce. So now I'm a single mom to walkie-talkies and one in the oven. And then I see the towers going down when I graduated from school. Yep, I graduated from University of Arkansas Medical Sciences. So I did get that degree, that Bachelor's of Arts in radiology that my dad was like, barefoot and pregnant, you wasn't going to do. And I was actually starting a separate career in radiation therapy, which I don't think I even told you, because working with cancer patients turned out to be what I wanted to do. And I saw that as something of giving back, because it's a whole different gambit of care to patients. And so I was going to school for it. And as we were in class, sure enough, I got to see the towers coming down. Now, to the normal person, when they saw the towers going down, everybody was sad, right?
Right.
But in my head, I was like, I'm about to leave my children. And that's just to be transparent. I knew then that I was about to get ready and leave my babies. And one wasn't even out the oven yet. So he came February that following year. And I kid you not, November of that same year, guess who was getting ready to deploy? And he wasn't even a year old. That was me. So that turned into a whole dynamic by itself. And on his 1-year birthday, February 13th, as I was getting ready to get on my first flight out of the country, period, to go to war, my youngest son did something solid that took us to our destination. And no one could ever tell me God didn't make this happen. In the middle of a group of women, you got mothers, you got single moms, married moms, you got young women, you know, with no children. My mom set him, put him down on the floor, and she said, walk. And I was on the other end, and he walked to me in front of all the women in the what we call barracks, y'all. And you talking about mommies, we was crying, non-mommies, we were all just, it was one of the gifts that God gave us to ease us, you know, as we're getting ready for this new adventure and not knowing what was going to happen on the other side. So that was something no one could ever take away. So they'd be like, Jennae, you remember when your baby walked for us, you know, before we left? And so that, like I said, that was the gift God gave us to get us ready and our peace of mind. But yes, I ended up leaving all three of my sons at the age of 4, 3, and 1.
Wow.
For my first of many deployments during that time.
Wow, this is interesting. Oh my goodness. I see we have another there's a fly in here. I swear they wait till you open that door just a crack and then they fly in your house. Everyone wants to be on my broadcast. You heard Steeler barking. This is just how my show goes. This is it. But yeah, so now, wow, this is juicy stuff. I didn't know ahead of time. So this is wow. So that's your first marriage, right?
Yep, that was my first marriage. And to be honest, Travis, I have not told my story. Like, I've only told it once. And that was back a while ago for the military. But I have not ever really shared my story with just in general. So you be the first.
Yeah, you see, I just know how to pull it out. You know, that's what I'm saying. You know, it's just like you get so comfortable, right? Because I'm on very okay. This is how I'm like, yay, let's go, let's do this. It's 10 p.m. We should have the chilling in bed, have your beverage of choice. Let's do it.
That's right.
But what I'd like to do, because the premise of the Late Night with Travis Michelle show is ugly side of the backstory. Mm-hmm. So I know you had challenges. You talked about it. You were able to have that first step. That is so important because that can carry you right through till you come back, right? But how did you deal with that separation anxiety? And what are some gems and tools that you can share with my audience to help them? And this is like in life, not just being in the military, but in life.
All right. So I would be, again, this is real talk because I do real talk with Wilmer McGround. And I'm a straight shooter, no chaser. So I would give y'all the fluff of what it should have been like, but I'm going to give you what it was really like. I compartmentalized, basically. What I did is something that therapists say people do as a protective mechanism. Like, I knew I was a mom, but I literally put my children and everything and everyone I loved in a box. And pushed them back. My focus reoriented with what we were doing and training and just getting ready in general to go over to a place I had never been, never, like I said, never been out the country. So in order for me to focus and to be right, I needed to do what I did, which therapists say some people are able to do and don't even think about it, don't even think twice about it.
Right.
It's something that a lot of people won't do because they are parents. And so to be honest, like hindsight, I really felt like, well, maybe something was wrong with me, but it was what they said. Nope, nothing was wrong. They just simply said that was just something you did. I was a medic. So if people don't know what that means, if you ever seen Band of Brothers or any wartime movie, the person that's wearing, they say medic, and a person that's running out and bullets is flying. Yeah, that was me.
Wow.
Now, listen, now this is during a time where women are not supposed to be on the front line. It's a time that women are not supposed to be on the front line, right?
Right.
But the lines were skewed. When you're a medic, how does that even work? Like,
right.
So I will tell you the short version of the stick. That was something else that I had to combat with, because on the first tour that I did over in Iraq, I was the only female medic assigned to an infantry type. Well, actually, it was a CAF unit, active duty. They thought they don't look at your first name apparently, but my battle buddy was a guy, because we were, understaffed, men. So you had to put male and female together, right?
Right.
And so with that, I ended up being the only female medic in a situation where it was not female. So this whole thing, they're now doing this integration with women and men. Yeah, I've been there, done that, not once, but a few times. And I see that someone said, compartmentalize your thoughts temporarily. Yes, the straight shooter of that, because I deployed so many times, my thoughts were compartmentalized permanently for a long time, which then that opens up a whole different dynamic of how you're supposed to feel, which I ended up, bottom line, not having any feelings, having to learn to reintegrate that, and then having to relearn how to be a mom with my children. And I'm telling you, that's 4 deployments later, total 4. So that's 3 deployments later in the same place, back to back, to when I came back finally, my sons were 12, 11, and 8. Yes, exactly. So in between missing like almost a decade of the life of growing, my compartmentalization happened so frequently that it became my norm. But it protected me and it helped me. When I tell you, T, I had so many. The first deployment, my truck blew up. Yeah, got hit with an ID. Was driving with 4 patients who had just got ambushed. So it takes me a minute sometimes, and it gets to me, and I don't know why. I just never know. So I never want to tell people, sometimes this might trigger someone. So just be, because it triggers me sometimes. But yeah, they had just had a firefight, and we just patched them up, and I was evacuating them out to go to Germany. And on our way there, you think if they've already been through that, then my vehicle get hit, with a bomb, and they're in the back. So my first priority is always the patients, always our soldiers, and so when people look at those movies about the medic going in, that's no joke. That's for real. It's never about our life. It's always about the lives of our patients who we can save, right? And so when that happened, my battle buddy at the time got hit the most on his side. And we didn't know what we didn't know then, but later on he ended up being on an O2 tank because of what was in it, and
Right.
Guess who was blessed not to be put on an O2 tank? Guess who was blessed not to get hit with shrapnel? But I did have a back injury that outside though, I was walking, talking, and fine. But that started a progress that I didn't even know that I was going to be on, of 20 years of chronic pain. But that's a whole different game. But physically, I was okay enough to make it through that bomb and that ambush to get my patients to where they need to be. as the vehicle itself was totally destroyed. So I always knew God was looking out for me, but I didn't know until hindsight how much he was looking out for me. And so with that, I was like, I got a purpose. I know I do. I mean, I know what it is, but God, you keeping me around for a reason. And so that compartmentalization took a hold of me. And like I said, 3 deployments, total of 4 after that first one. It really did something to me that just wasn't right, actually the norm, because I wish I could say that was my only near death experience, but no. And remember I told you the lives were skewed then, from female to male. You see how that worked? There was no bomb had your name on it. No bomb had female. No bomb had male. You know what I'm saying? Right. So the gender things were kind of skewed at that part. Same thing with shooting. No bullet had your gender on it. You know. Mm-hmm. So I laughed when they used to say, "Oh, there's no women in combat." Y'all, I got a combat medic badge for my deployments. If I didn't have combat, then why do I have my medic badge of combat? And when I say that was earned, and I'm still living because I can wear it, you know, that part. But I just want to know, hey, women have been in combat for years. You had not seen it up personal.
Well, I just want to thank you for sharing that, because somebody needed to hear that, right? Edith says, blessings, God is good. We need to hear this. We need to be in the real world. We're so busy being with filters, and everything is looking like it's something that it's not, and it's delusional. It really doesn't help us in our everyday life. So hearing real stories, real experiences makes a huge, huge difference. So again, thank you so much for your service. So now that we know a little bit of that background, because y'all know I like to dig, you know, I want the tea. So that's how we get the tea up here. We're going to segue over. Now you, what started you on your way towards liking travel? I mean, you've been deployed. Some people don't want to travel that much. How did you get into traveling and being called the travel vet?
Listen, again, who didn't want to be anything related to entrepreneur was me. Y'all, I say entrepreneurs work too hard. I ain't got time for that. I just told you, listen, I just told y'all a little stint of what I've been through. Can y'all imagine me saying that? I had to laugh at it right now in hindsight. But that was my epiphany moment. I said, you know, my battle buddy at the time, she knew I was getting ready. I was like 4 years out from retirement. And so she knew that I was thinking of relocating to a different country upon retirement. At the time I had 3 boys, you know, and I figured out by the age of 40, I would be retired. So I was mapping it out like, as soon as they are, you know, 18, by the time my youngest will be 18. And I'm like, freedom, like, you know, out of here. You know, but my thing to my boys, you got 2 options: military or school, one of the 2. But 18 years old, see you, you know, that kind of thing. And they did right by it. But and didn't make me a grandmother in the process. So I was really happy about that. But in the interim, though, with doing so, I was like, you know, I knew I wanted to travel. I don't want to not be in stationary. The military, all my international countries over the 30 that I had visited at that time were all military related. Like, I didn't get those good cushion, like humanitarian type of missions where you go and pass out cornbread and food and you're loving everybody. That was a part of it, but I was dodging bullets at the same time. So I wanted to be able to go somewhere where I didn't have to take my M9. I didn't have to take my M16. I didn't have to take no weapon. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to just go somewhere and not have to do that. And so when she told me about this amazing opportunity to be able to travel and start my business on e-commerce, which I was like, what's an e-commerce? She's like, online. It's another word for online. So why don't they just say online? I'm like, okay, got it. But I was literally on my way to Costa Rica at the time for a 30-day hiatus, like to just take a leave. And that is how she was like, hey, this out. And I was like, woo. And she showed me God puts people in your life for a reason, a season, and a lifetime. And he put her in my path to show me that I could be an entrepreneur, to show me that I could make travel, which was not my passion really, but what the military had in my blood, it was in my blood. But to be able to do what I said I wanted to do, which was travel without, the military, just travel on my own. And he made it to happen where it meshed together. But unbeknownst to me, it became my medicine, because at this time point in my life, I had PTSD, MDD, anxiety, you name it, A, B, C, E, F, G. That was me, and so all these diagnoses and mental health I had no clue about it ever in my lifetime. But when it was all said and done, the quietness and the still that I felt when I traveled was the best medication for my body. And that
Right.
was a discovery for me. Not the medication whatsoever, period, for anybody. But it was the best. It didn't make me feel like I was a medicine head. I
Right.
knew my name. I was able to, so it didn't have the side effects, right? Um, and so that seeing what God created in different places and just like different little things, not the big things, really impacted me. Just the simple things of a sunrise, like, or a sunset, like, oh God, that's so beautiful. Look at your glory, made me pause and see things like that, and gave me a whole different perspective. And then as I started this journey, ironically, on Clubhouse, when the pandemic hit, I was only 2 years in as an entrepreneur, trying to still figure it all out. And the pandemic
Wow.
hit. And it's like, ain't nobody traveling. What? Lord, did I make the right
Right.
decision? What was happening? All this second guessing. And then again, he puts people in your life for a reason. And Clubhouse open. And I heard this young man, he was saying, I'm from the DMV, and that's where I was. And I was like, oh, cool. You in my own backyard. Let's connect. He was like, okay, let's get on Zoom. I was talking about a phone call. He was like, let's get on Zoom. I was like, oh, okay. And he said, hey, I was looking at your Instagram. I see you're everywhere. He's like, what do you do? And I was telling him I'm in the travel industry. I just started my business. He was like, you know what? He said, you should be called the travel vet. I said, the travel vet? Yeah, DA travel vet. You're a vet and you travel, it all mixed together. When I tell you, I was like, oh, okay. He said, try it. See what it's like. I was like, okay, I will. So I put it out there and I was like, hey, because people were calling me Carmen San Diego, and we
Right.
couldn't take her name. She's already at it. So I said, hey, everybody, what you think about this? It's called the travel vet. Y'all think that's a good one? Everybody's like, oh yeah, that's good. That's good. So to this day, I have to thank him for naming me, not knowing that he actually branded me,
Yes.
ironically.
Wow. That is so good, because we have to, it's important that as we go through these challenges, that we find a healthy way, a healthy defense mechanism, coping mechanisms, and not something that is going to turn into hurting us physically and emotionally and mentally, right? As well as financially. So that was so good. And, everyone loved travel. So it was difficult, of course, during the pandemic when people couldn't travel, and, especially being on quarantine and stuff. So I know. So now we know how that came about. Tell us a little bit, because I've had your link up here, the ultimate sky travel. Tell us, like, how did you come up with that name, and how long have you been in business? How can we contact you?
Oh, absolutely. It is so great that you asked that, because, as an entrepreneur, you're supposed to, have a method of your madness when you're naming yourself. I didn't. I didn't have that method to my madness. I didn't know about, manifestation of colors and colors meaning things. I didn't know any of these things. I didn't know about making my name a part of my life, my vision, my mission, you
Right.
know. But in the essence, it's still, like I said, when God takes over the wheel and has control, you just sitting in the passenger side doing what you do. But it ain't all about you. It's like you said, you're the CEO and he the founder. And I
Right.
realized that. And so what happened was I named it Ultimate Sky because my daughter, God blessed me with a mini me. Yes, he did. I was like, you must know what you're doing, but you funny, because I told you I was already at retirement. Like, woo, my big boys are gone. So I'm like, yay, here we go. He said, pump the brakes. Here you go. So
Right.
this little gift of mine, her name was she was named after my favorite aunt, Gloria. And my aunt fed me, and she had a way for with food, right? So I said, let's name her Sky, in the middle for her middle name. So Gloria Sky. And then when I was thinking of this company, I said, well, I want to pay tribute to her because she's going to be the one that's going to be rolling with me. Like, she was going to be that ace, like my little navigator right there. She, everywhere I go, she was going to be attached to my hip because, hey, we was going to move out smartly. Just because I had her, my mission didn't change of what I want to do. I was still like, we relocating out the country. I don't know how we going to do this with a baby, but we going to do this. And so I said, okay, well, let's do Ultimate Sky. And then I said, well, what is it that I would want people to get from what I'm doing? Well, what got you started? Being able to be a single mom, to go on a trip without Uncle Sam was scary. So my best friend introduced me to a travel club, which I was like, ooh, how does this work? Oh, you can do payment plans? You mean I can't go to Dubai? What? So it started up a whole different gambit of knowing how to move outside of Uncle Sam with a whole group of Black people, believe it or not, because it's called Black Travel Movement. And I have to thank the founder for actually giving me this opportunity and becoming a good friend of mine. And he'll never know to this day how that movement changed my life, to give me more of that confidence of being able to just do what I'm going to do, regardless of being a single parent. And
Right.
so that started one of many trips on my own making payment plans. Some people went and got their hair done. I went to go make a payment on my trip. That's how it was going for me. And so it happened that way. And so my mission turned into giving it back, giving it back to people who didn't know like I didn't know. So being able to travel unlimitedly, ultimate experience without breaking the bank, being able
Wow.
to make those payment plans, being able to go on those live lists, not bucket lists, because I be taking people, you ain't dying. Why it's got to be a bucket list? Y'all do know that's for people that's about to die and kick the bucket.
Right.
Let's do a live list. And so it's like, hey, let's do this live list and let's make monthly payments. You say you want to go over Underwater Bungalow to Bora Bora, then let's do it. Let's plan it out. How much is the total cost of the trip? All right, because it doesn't matter how much it is. What matters is how much you can afford on a monthly basis. So let's break that down. And instead of making extra bills like
Right.
hair, nails, and whatever, let's go ahead and put that money towards this and being able to help people to see that. So actually, economically, budgetly, financially, being that person for them in the industry of travel.
Absolutely. That is great. Doing that. I like that. Do a live list as opposed to a bucket list. Absolutely. Because you can't wait until you retire because you don't know what's going to happen. You may not make it, or you may be sickly, or you end up taking care of somebody else, being a caregiver, and things just change. So why put off? We know now with COVID and everything else going on that you're not promised tomorrow. We're not. We're here right now. That's what we are living in. You prepare, absolutely, but we're not promised to be there. So learning to enjoy your life and live your life is good. And you're sharing your story, and I'm just so honored that you shared it for the first time here. That really means a lot. But I do want to say you need to go to the founder of the Black Travel Movement, and you need to tell him give him his flowers and let him know he should not have, forward this show to him
Yeah.
so that he can actually hear it, because that we need to also give people their flowers while they're alive. Like, don't wait until we all meet up. You know how they do. We meet up at a funeral or a baby shower, and usually it's the funeral. And then, oh yeah, I remember it. Let's just stop a minute, take a minute, breathe,
Right.
If you think of someone, send them a text, give them a call, send them a card, right? Um, because it's really important.
Absolutely.
And you know where people are and how they're feeling. So now that
Mhm.
you are doing your travel, that's great. We're going to take just a moment here for a commercial break. Hi, everybody. This is Travis Michelle. Thank you so much for coming and joining us tonight. 10 p.m. every Wednesday on Late Night with Travis Michelle show, Ugly Side of the Backstory, where our guests share their stories, but not just the success part. We're going to get to the success part, but the challenges along the way. Because isn't it more important to have those tools in your tool chest? Like, okay, I know that you had a challenge. That means I can do it because you did it, as opposed to just seeing the shiny object, the end result. In the interim as well, boom, go on Amazon and get Boss Up with Confidence 30-day journal, take one step at a time, using my WALK method, which stands for W, willing participant. You know how I talk about my grandma. My grandma says, tail follows the head. Then you take action steps. L, love yourself. How do you really do that? Through first forgiving yourself, which leads to freedom. And then redemption is walking through the journey. K is kicking butt unapologetically. You can say, oh, you talking about me? And that's what I used to do. Oh, that's all you remember? Bye, deuces, because that's not who I am now. And if you can't accept me the way I am, that's on you. That's not on me. And guess what, guys? I'm just so excited. Oh, look, I'm over here. I was typing it out, and I had to type it out like 500 times because I wasn't sure. I wanted to get everything in. Tomorrow, you're the first to hear it live. And I'll be putting out the flyers tonight. So you'll wake up tomorrow, and then I'm gonna be blowing those flyers up. I'm just gonna continue because the algorithm, you might see it at different times. So the Walk Method Masterclass, which is mine, is going to be tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Here is the link, bit.ly/walk method, and you will go and register. It will be on Zoom. It has a Zoom link there. So we will show up at 7 p.m. And I'm actually going to teach you the walk method. I'm going to give you the tools. It's not going to be a lot of fluff because I don't like fluff, right? I'm sick of being on courses and you do stuff and you have to go through all the fluff first, and then it's just about selling you. How about we actually do a transformation? How about I give you the tools? You'll have the opportunity when you actually go on and register to purchase the journal so that you can have that. Even if you don't have it immediately tomorrow, it comes in Amazon like 2 days. So you'll have it. All right. And I am not an affiliate of Amazon. I was during my chemo radiation. And I think I did, because I wasn't online, then they told me that I couldn't do it because I wasn't doing anything but fighting for my life, y'all. You know that I'm a cervical cancer warrior. Yes. So I'm just excited to be here. That's why I said we can't take anything for granted. And going through that journey, God is like, you can't keep all this to yourself. Like, people keep asking me, y'all didn't know prior to my when I was diagnosed with cervical cancer, I was in pain, and y'all didn't know that. And then going through my treatment, my 10 out of 10, but I still showed up here on Wednesdays. I was still showing up on Zooms and on, social media. You don't know what's pulling people through. But I can tell you, as your expert confidence coach, this walk method I have used my whole life. It just wasn't called the walk method. It was called survival. But I was able to put it, because of a coach, into an acronym. And now I want to give this to you because this is something that is priceless. Once you have it, you can rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. So make sure that you sign up for the Walk Method Masterclass June 30th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will have flyers put up on my Facebook, on my Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. It's going to be all over the place, y'all. I'm just saying, you're going to be sick of me. I'm talking about sick of me. But when God says you shall live and not die, just be sick of me. But it's bit.ly/walk method. And just be on there and learn. And now at the end, I will have an offer. And you make it to the end, because we're going to chop this up. We're going to have fun. I use some humor. It's not going to be boring because I don't know how to do that. And but you'll definitely learn. So please share this out. Now back to our wonderful guest. Yes. Guess what? We have the wonderful, the beautiful, and I'm like all the time I see her, her hair is different. This is Miss Jennae Pitts. Can I tell y'all, we met on Clubhouse. We're in a group called Mom Link, and they have chapter presidents. So hello, Mom Link, for when those of you that come on, come through. But she's like, you know what? I'm going to be in New York City. Well, okay, but I don't really go out a lot. I like got to protect myself. You know, I don't like to be around a whole lot of folks. And I'm like, New York City. I was like, okay. She goes, I'd like to, have lunch. I was like, oh, I don't eat at restaurants. I did. I typed that. I did. Y'all know I just straight, right? I was like, oh, I don't go out to eat. And I said, where in New York City are you? I said, I live, and I told her where I lived. She was 5 minutes away. The hotel was literally, y'all know, 5 minutes away, 12 minutes walking. Okay. And we met, and let me tell you, she's just such a genuine person. So I'm so happy to introduce to you again the wonderful, the beautiful Jennae Pitts as our travel vet. So now we know now how you came about with the name, and I would like you to just take a moment at this pause to tell us how we can connect with you, where you are, and what you have going on.
Yes, absolutely. So I have a social tap link that I will send to you right now. So that is like a one-stop shop for me. So you can get all of my information from Facebook, from Instagram, from LinkedIn, you name it, all on one platform. So you don't have to go writing down all these links. And so I'm going to shoot that to you right now.
Well, if you put it in your comment section, that's what works. You see, you have a comment right here on the side. It says private chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
put it
sure
right
can.
there, and then
All right.
we'll
Yep,
take
I'm
it.
about to do that. Boop boop. That's what's up. It's weird being on the guest side of this because I'm so used to being on your side. It's like, yay.
Well, you're gone. We can only see a black screen.
Okay, because I'm bringing it up. Hold on.
Oh, okay, no problem. So while Jennae is bringing those links up, because it's really important, it's here at on Late Night with Travis Michelle. It's so important that we share, right? We collaborate together, we network together, because when you do that, everybody wins. Everybody eats at the table. And I just saw recently someone says, yeah, people tell you, oh, something is saturated. Yeah, saturated at the bottom. But those that rise, because cream rises to the top. That means you put.
Yes.
I was telling Jennae, let me tell you, this entrepreneur life is no joke. I never wanted to be an entrepreneur, like never. So my children are like, Mom, we can't believe this. But COVID changes things. Life situations can change you. So you have to have that open mind. And to hear my adult children say, Mom, we're happy for the woman that you've grown into. You know what that means? Because when you're parenting, you survive it. Sometimes you're making all the best choices, because we're human. But to see that, because, I was like, this is how it's going to be. This is it. I was set. And that's why I like to say mindset shift. Because when you shift your mind and you open, and now I'm hardcore, it's 2 years and I'm still doing this. And they're like, and you're advancing. Like, I have a master class. What? I'm speaking, and all of these things happen while being a cervical cancer warrior. So being an example for not just myself, but for other people who are around. So we have the chat back up. I am going to, daggone it. That's what I did now. I'm gone, aren't I? I pulled it up.
Yep.
And I was trying to copy and paste it. Y'all see, this is this thing here, but I'm copying and pasting it. And then, how does it do that? I will get it on in a minute. So tell us now what you have going on.
All right. So what do I not have going on? That part. So literally I'm in travel mode right now. I'm in the hotel, about to get ready and leave right after we finish this to hit the road to go down to Essence Festival, where I'm supporting one of my other sisters who gave me an opportunity, my travel company, an opportunity to promote Black Queens Matter, who was blessed to get a collaboration and be sponsored by the Essence Festival. It's really a phenomenal group. Her name is T Marie, and so she spearheaded this and started it up. I tell people your vibe attracts your tribe, right? You don't have to go looking for people. Again, like I said, God puts people in your life for a season, a reason, a lifetime, either to grow, to be with you, whatever the case may be. And so I was blessed to have her come in. And so that's what we're about to go right now. Black Queens are taking over New Orleans. How about that? So
Yes.
that's the immediate. And then following that, parenthood of being a mother, my little one, we departed with each other on the 1st of May. She literally did her second solo flight to visit her grandmother for the summer since we live in Costa Rica. That was one of her non-negotiables, y'all. I want to see my granny. Oh, yes, ma'am. So we come, summertime is all hers. And as we're getting ready to transition back home because she has to go to school in August, in about a month. So got to get her mind right. But, the things of motherhood, but always for my company, one of the things that I am enjoying right now is I did my first master class today. It was really crazy. I did it for people outside of my company, outside my team. And it was really real received, which was surprisingly shocking because you just don't know what people don't know. And I don't like to insult people's intelligence. So I just didn't know, so I was really happy to now be able to share the knowledge with others because I realize now a lot of people don't really know. And so I have a company that have about 70 advisors, north, south, east, and west, even internationally. And so I coach and mentor them in their businesses that they have in the travel industry. My affirmation is this: everything attached to me will win, period. That was something me and God talked about. And I said, hey, if that's going to be a part of my purpose, that will. I know the number was 100. That's my number. And my number was to help as many families become entrepreneurs in the travel as possible. But then another opportunity to be a chapter president in the Mom Link came forward with that number 100, that number 100 in my journal. So I said, hey, Lord, we don't care how we get to the 100. We just gonna help 100, and keep it counting. And so now this has given me an opportunity, like my first masterclass was being able to do it for the Mom Link and to help educate others on the industry of travel, as well as show them how to monetize on travel. So that's my company presence right now, is that, hey, if you're going to want to go anywhere from point A to point B, my company is going to be able to provide you that subject matter expert that's going to not be a clicker. A clicker is someone who just go and click. You're going to go from this destination to this destination. But no, to be able to tell you, oh, you don't want to go there right now. It's rainy season. A clicker won't know that information. And we want to be able to give that experience to you. And with that behind the scenes, T, is me educating my team, my successful entrepreneurs that they are, in saying, hey, you got to be more than a clicker. You don't want to be put in the rainy season during the time that you want to go on a trip. So think about yourself and your family and not wanting to waste that money and blaming someone. So that's my whole mission and goal, to help others to be able to help others. It's always service to many leads to greatness. And my principle for that is, if Jesus could wash the feet of the betrayer, if he could wash the feet of the doubter, then hey, I can wash everybody's feet, funky, stanky, whatever the case may be. I'm a washer, and that's going to help me, in essence, help them to do what they need to do. And I just believe like that's what God intended for me to do, and that's a part of my purpose.
Wow, that was huge. And guys, let me tell you, I was there because we're both part of Mom Link, and her masterclass was so good. It was so good. She's like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to talk that long. She can talk. Don't tell nobody, but she can talk. But the information was fun. It was valuable. And you need to definitely go to her website because she has tips and tricks over there. and ways that you can. Here's her link so that you can definitely get in contact and stay in contact. Also on, tell us about the platforms, because I know we can go here, but just out loud, because some people may be listening and they're driving and doing the replays. So what
Okay.
platform can they find you on?
So on that, you can find me on LinkedIn. As soon as you click on the social tab, you'll see the Instagram logo. You'll see the Facebook logo. You'll see the TikTok logo. You'll see the LinkedIn logo. Man, y'all see all the logos for all the platforms, even Twitter. Yep, you got it. All the platforms. One thing that my coach has told me, when as an entrepreneur, we got to be flexible with change. But like T said, it's not hard, but we have to be flexible with change, because I think I was telling somebody else the other day, I said, when you don't change, you end up like Blockbuster. Who? What y'all say? Blockbuster. Exactly. Who that is? They no longer exist because they wasn't subject to change. So with that, we have to be able to change, or we'll end up like a Blockbuster, meaning no longer here. And so I want to make sure everyone understands that social media, it may be crazy and you got all these things going on, and you're like, no, I ain't getting on that. No, I ain't getting on that. Ticka who? I was like that. Ticka who? I'm not doing all that. But when I tell you, it is very instrumental in entrepreneurship to have a face on social media, because you have introverts, people who don't go out. The pandemic was great for them. So with that, you cater to a lot of different people, not just people that's like you. You have to think
Right.
outside the box and cater to people that's not like you. So as an entrepreneur, you have to be like, who can I help? That's all. Help. Who can you help? Introvert, extrovert, social media guru, non-social media. If you have a bottom line of who you can help, it will help you go out and do different dynamics, even on different social media platforms. So that's what you, as soon as you hit that social tab, that will be me on different platforms, and you see what's been happening with me and all different. I do Real Talk with Real Woman Grinding. You'll see that. You'll see book club. You see all the things that I actually like to give back to help others. Like T is given to me the opportunity to share with you. It's all about paying it forward. And like I said, your vibe attracts your tribe. I didn't have to go looking for this. It was already upon me. And that's what we do. We just pay it forward to everyone else. So thanks, T.
You are very welcome. Hi, everybody. This is Travis Michelle, Late Night with Travis Michelle, TV host. I hope you have enjoyed our segment tonight. I know I have. For those of you on the replay, put replay in the comment section. Please share this out to others, because people need to know about this. And guess what, guys? I need you to go. This is what I need. I need you to sign up, 1, for the masterclass. 2, I need you to also, which is tomorrow at 7 p.m., and we have it June 30th, bit.ly/walk method. And I need you to sign up for my YouTube channel. I have to grow my YouTube channel. And if I don't say sign up, nobody's going to sign up. So you got to know it's there, because we show on Facebook and on YouTube. Make sure you do that. And follow Jennae Pitts. Be in her community, so that, thank you so much, Edith, for being here too. You will be in the know, because next year, y'all, I'm gonna be in Essence right there with her. I'm just saying. I already told her, I was like, what? This is what's gonna happen. This is how we rolling, because it's about that networking. And when you're coming on here on Late Night with Travis Michelle, we're networking, we're collaborating. I've had people get together when I've even opened up rooms on Clubhouse. That's right. I'm sharing, because there's going to be a flyer. July 9th, Destiny Helpers Outreach, founded by Trudy Ann Williams, in Brownsville, Black and Brown community, underserved, right? Afterthought. A lot of y'all heard of Brownsville, and it's in Brooklyn, New York. Well, she has taken over this last several weeks, actually a couple of months, and worked with different teenagers and their parents, from Planned Parenthood to financial literacy to etiquette, and it just, having colleges come. They went on tours, all kinds of things. And the culmination now is their pageant. So the pageant is July 9th. and it's at the Brookdale Hospital Auditorium. So guess what? I have an opportunity because I'm a mentor to one of the young ladies. That's right. Through all this, loving on my own family and stuff and running my business and speaking. And Trudy said, I need you to be a mentor. And I was like, for a second, like chemo brain set in. And then I said, okay, yes. And I'm so happy I did, because this young lady, which she's coming on the show. I'm just saying, she and her mom, they all coming on the show. But she's 16 years young, and she starts college in August at St. Mary's in Maryland. And she was received 13 scholarships, 5 paid, and she has chosen to go to St. Mary's. So I'm just so excited for her. And she was valedictorian, and she was like, please come to my graduation. Y'all know I ain't trying to be around all those folk. But it was outside on the rooftop. I wore my clear mask, and I'm just so happy and honored that she and her family wanted me there. So you don't know the impact that you make in someone's life. So you need to show up, and you need to show up right. So thank you again, Jennae Pitts, for being here, the travel vet, and sharing your story, because you make, now it's like, oh yeah, okay, now I understand. This is, yeah, I can travel too. You understand a little bit more about her. So again, make sure you follow her on all the social media stages, IG, Twitter. She's everywhere. And I will put her the social tap link back up there so that you can click on that and stay connected, right? Because that's what it's about. Ugly side of the backstory. She showed us the ugly side, and then the success, being able to still be that great mom. And we didn't even touch on it. We have like 4 minutes, but you said you live in Costa Rica. I'd be remiss if I didn't comment on that. So you really living in Costa Rica? I know this, but I have to act like that for y'all.
Yes, ma'am. It absolutely does. So I had envisioned, God gave me the provisions for. So always remember that. God will give you the provisions for your visions. When I told you guys I didn't know how I was going to make it happen with a baby on my hip, that baby is now 8 years old. And the pandemic has happened in the industry of travel. Like, how does that work? But yes, he gave the provisions to make it happen. We relocated last year in the pandemic, which we're still in. And it has been very, very good. It's been very, very good for her. She actually finished school 2 months early, which allowed her to come back to the States to hang out with her granny. She's learning Spanish, Espanol. Mommy was doing a good job learning it with her, but she's like surpassing me right now. She's every day on with her Spanish teacher, even in the States right now, tutoring. So when she goes back, she will still be good to go. She's learned how to swim. She's a fish. She's a water baby. She loves horseback riding on the beach. Her recess is a little bit different than everybody's recess. And so, but that gives me joy. And what gives me even more joy is me being able to start when we get back to the community to help them learn English. So I felt like if they can teach my child how to learn Spanish, then I can help them learn English, because it's expensive and they have to go to the city to do it. And I'm like, I called my friend who is an educator, and I said, well, what do I need to do? Because I'm not an educator. Guess what she said? Getting periodicals, get notebooks. So as I'm here in the States, guess what I'm getting? Magazines, everything, so I can take that back with me to help them learn how to learn Spanish. And when I say them, I'm talking the parents of the children that my daughter plays with, because they don't speak English. That's 100% Spanish, but it's not that they don't want to, it's just they can't afford to. And so if I can give them my time to do that freely, then I'm going to do that, because they're blessing me and they're taking care of me. And when I tell you, it doesn't matter, like they encompass us into their family. It takes a village. I have had issues, medical issues, since I've been there. And when I tell you, they stepped out and they showed out and they helped.
Uh-oh, you froze. Okay, so Jennae is
It's a
frozen.
village. So absolutely.
Back.
Oh, there we go. I was like, Yeah, there we go. Here we go. I'm back. But all I'm saying is like, if you have an opportunity to give back, then do so, and that's where we're at.
Wow, thank you. And you know what, guys? I have been to Costa Rica. It is a beautiful country, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's like, I can go visit places. I have ADHD when it comes to travel, not diagnosed, just when I don't want to end up feeling like I live there. I like to go do something quick and I'm on to the next. I've just never been that way when I travel to want to stay very long. And it's probably because I grew up traveling and we went to Europe and all of these places. And, after about 2 weeks, you're like, look, I can't. So I just want a few days. However, in Costa Rica, I can actually stay a week and I'm good. Because I did. I stayed there a week and I did the horseback riding. I was in the jungle with the waterfalls, not the ones that you guys see the pretty pictures with. No, I was actually in the jungle. I did a survivor tour. And y'all know I'm real girly girl, but you just don't know. There's a side to me you don't know about. So I will definitely be visiting. I've already said that I'll be visiting once I'm comfortable flying over there.
Absolutely.
And but I thank you for sharing that. And you were sharing that the expat community is really strong there, and it is a good place. I mean, there, as a registered professional nurse, I am. That's my silent investor. I can share with you that the health system is good. If you certain places, you're like, oh Lord, don't let me get sick over here. Certain states I go to, I'm like, oh Jesus, please don't let me get sick. But over there in Costa Rica, the healthcare system is great, and they don't have an army, so they put all of their money and they make sure everybody goes to school and is educated. So that says a lot too. So and the food is good. I'm just gonna say that. So with that being said, guys, I thank you again so much for being here with us tonight. Do you have just one parting word for us?
One parting word is legacy.
Okay, she said it. Legacy. It ain't all about you. You got to think of those who are coming after us, those who are not even, when we say after and behind us, a lot of times they're right beside us. There are grandchildren, there are children, there are friends, there are neighbors, and it's not like we're behind, they're beside us. So as we transition on, we need to make sure that we're leaving legacy for them so that they can continue. And that when they talk about us, like y'all know, I talk about Alice and Clarence Presley, my grandparents, they're never dead, right? There's a legacy there because we're able to share our gifts, our stories with them and about them to other people and not keep it to ourselves. So I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow on the masterclass. I'm going to be posting it. I didn't post it as fast as I wanted because, yeah, y'all, this entrepreneur journey this is my first masterclass, and it's like getting all the techie stuff and my team. I got a team, y'all. I got a team. So getting all that done, it takes time. So with everything, and they've been so patient. I have to shout out Rita Green from GoFig, GEAUX Fig. She is my web developer. Y'all need to go to www.travismichelle.com and check out my web to the site. Now I have a good website. It's always good. But she's like, oh, excuse me, you need to scale up your website. Yeah, you're doing more now. You're on more stages. Yeah, you need to scale it up. And I was like, okay. She told me that, not that I'm just going and do this, do that. No. And so she's made sure, and you have to look at the late night with Travis Michelle, guys. Before, you see how it's static with the city. Now there are people moving. It's fluid. Oh, come on. I'm just saying. So anywho, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel at Travis Michelle, and you stay connected to both myself, Travis Michelle, and to Jennae Pitts. We will be seeing you in Clubhouse streets. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and give them a shout out. The Mom Link, they have a summit. So you can go to www.momlink.com and sign up for the 3 days. So it's tomorrow's the last day and it is free. But when I tell you gems are dropped, gems be dropped. So you need to be in the house and in the know. Hey, you guys, y'all know how I go. This is Travis Michelle, your expert confidence coach, your TV host, your professional speaker, and your international best-selling author. And so I'm glad that you stayed with us tonight. Y'all know how I go. Too much for some. I know that. Yeah, you figured it out. Not enough for others. Ooh, y'all, that is your personal problem, not mine. But guess what? I'm always just right for me. So until next week, 10 p.m. Wednesday, Eastern Standard Time. Have a good night.
Good night, y'all.